Underneath the roar of stadiums, where millions cheer names written in sweat and legend, there exists another stage, quieter, but far more dangerous. The world of private jets, where NFL and NBA stars slip into the sky to escape the chaos of fame, the pressure of scandal, or simply their own demons. These jets are not just transportation. They are escape pods, gilded chambers of secrecy, floating fortresses where stories are rewritten, where sins are concealed, and where reputations can be destroyed in a single turbulent night. But behind the tinted windows and champagne flutes, what truths hide in the clouds? Tonight, we dissect the airbound odyssey of the richest athletes on Earth, the jet secrets and shady escapes of NFL and NBA stars. Flying citadels of vanity. To the public eye, a jet is a symbol of arrival, the peak of a career measured in gold chains, multi-million-dollar contracts, and stadium roars. Yet behind this facade of vanity lies something far more complex. Take Shaquille O'Neal, whose jet once bore his Superman insignia, not just a vessel but a declaration of dominance. Or Michael Jordan's now famous Gulfstream GIV, detailed with the Carolina blue he carried from college glory to NBA legend. But the story doesn't end with decor. These jets aren't only canvases of ego. They're the settings where reputations were risked, deals were brokered, and sometimes ruin began. The midnight escapes. Jets are often spoken of as status symbols. Yet for some stars, they became lifelines. Consider Allen Iverson, once the very symbol of NBA swagger. When gambling debts mounted and whispers of bankruptcy circled, Iverson's jet was often his escape, taking him from Philadelphia courtrooms to Caribbean hideaways where creditors could not follow. Each flight was a postponement, a desperate attempt to outrun inevitability. And then there's Dennis Rodman, a man who blurred the line between athlete and outlaw. His private jet journeys were less about convenience, more about chaos. Sudden flights to Vegas during playoff runs, clandestine jaunts to North Korea, where he stepped onto foreign soil as if he were an ambassador of madness. The jet became his enabler, a shadowy accomplice in a life lived at the edge of scandal. But the question remains, how many more stars have used these skybound fortresses not just to travel, but to flee from consequences, from headlines, from the law itself? Sky-high parties, Dionysian excess. The cabin of a private jet has often been compared to a nightclub suspended in the stratosphere. Velvet seats, crystal glasses, dimmed lights, and an absence of accountability. NFL legend Deion Sanders, primetime himself, embodied this lifestyle. Known for his unmatched bravado, Sanders turned his flights into carnivals of excess. Entourages packed into leather seats, champagne flooding the aisles, deals whispered between beats of music. Yet darker tales persist, of players chartering jets for celebrations that blurred into scandals. Whispers of narcotics hidden in luggage compartments, models flown across oceans under the cover of night, entire rosters gambling fortunes on card tables midair. For every touchdown and slam dunk we saw in the daylight, there were mid-flight debaucheries hidden under clouds, unrecorded but not forgotten. Would you believe that some of the wildest NBA parties never took place on land at all, but thousands of feet above us, drifting through storm clouds with curtains drawn, hidden fortresses of secrets? What makes these jets so captivating is not just the luxury, but their ability to conceal. On the tarmac, paparazzi lenses are everywhere. In the skies, only the chosen few bear witness. Michael Vick, once the face of NFL brilliance, used private flights not only as a symbol of wealth, but as a shield, a space where damaging conversations could occur beyond the reach of microphones. When his career was nearly destroyed by the infamous dogfighting scandal, it was whispered that frantic meetings took place in airborne cabins. Lawyers, advisors, handlers, all strategizing damage control while the world below waited for answers. And what of Kobe Bryant, whose helicopter became his signature? While remembered tragically, his reliance on private air travel was rooted in secrecy as much as convenience. a way to vanish from the public eye, to move unseen in a world that constantly demanded his presence. These jets are not just modes of transport. They are vaults of untold stories. What handshakes were exchanged midair that shaped the fate of franchises? What secrets were whispered in cabins that could shatter reputations if ever revealed? The dark economics of escape. Every jet tells a story not only of glamour but of financial strain. Owning or leasing such aircraft is a bleeding wound in a bank account, often accelerating the downfall of stars who already wrestle with lavish spending. Antoine Walker, a former NBA All-Star, earned over $108 million in his career. And yet, bankruptcy followed. Jets, casinos, entourages, endless indulgences. The sky was both his playground and his undoing. And whispers follow certain NFL stars whose jets were co-owned by shadowy investors. Were these athletes merely passengers in their own vessels, or pawns in greater financial games played by agents, bankers, and underworld financiers? When the engines roar, are they carrying a man to his next victory, or flying him closer to ruin? Mysteries at 30,000 feet. There are stories, rarely confirmed but persistently whispered, that blur the line between myth and fact. Of jets grounded in foreign lands under undisclosed circumstances. Of athletes vanishing for days, only to reappear on courts and fields as if nothing happened. One tale speaks of an NBA star's jet landing in the Cayman Islands with unlisted passengers, men in suits who disappeared into the night with briefcases. Another whispers of an NFL player whose plane was forced to circle for hours while a situation was resolved inside the cabin, details never made public. These stories, whether truth or legend, add a layer of mystique that keeps us watching, wondering, how much do we really know about the heroes we worship from stadium seats? The mystery of disappearances. There are moments in this aerial saga that defy explanation. Athletes disappearing mid-season under the guise of family emergencies, only for whispers to emerge of exotic island hideaways reached by jet. Deals struck behind closed doors in airborne cabins, where billion-dollar contracts, endorsements, or betrayals were inked in secrecy. Even darker are the rumors of jets used as vaults for secrets, evidence transported, stories buried, careers protected not by law, but by altitude. Mysteries linger, and as long as the skies remain, so too will these unanswered stories. The legacy written in the sky. Jets are not just about wealth. They are mirrors reflecting the deepest truths of those who own them. For some, like LeBron James, they are tools of discipline, sanctuaries that extend careers and craft legacies. For others, like Iverson or Rodman, they are symbols of chaos, fuel for the very downfall that fans once feared. The skies carry every secret, every scandal, every fleeting triumph whispered into leather seats. And though the engines may quiet upon landing, the echoes remain. Ghost stories at 30,000 feet, tales of jet secrets and shady escapes that continue to haunt the legends of sport. The sky remembers. In the end, these jets are more than luxury vehicles. They are theaters of human weakness, cathedrals of indulgence, and sometimes prisons of regret. Each takeoff carries not just a destination, but a secret, each landing an unspoken story left behind in the clouds. For every triumphant return from victory, there lies another journey hidden from view. A midnight escape, a whispered deal, a scandal shielded by altitude. The sky may be silent, but it remembers. So the next time you see an NFL or NBA star step onto a gleaming jet, ask yourself, are they chasing dreams or running from shadows? Thank you for watching. If you found yourself drawn into these hidden worlds of excess and secrecy, don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that peel back the curtain on lives lived at the edge of myth and scandal.